we're going to start off with Kathleen Norton-Schock, and she's going to talk about MCWT, and probably she's going to talk about Diva Tech Talk, which is her show that she does with another friend of mine. And so we got some good stuff for today, but go ahead and take it away, Kathleen. Get us started.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I'm actually honestly not going to be talking about Diva Tech Talk right now. We're in a rethink mode, Nicole and I. Nicole Scheffler and I. So we do have our 101 episodes, and they sit out there as a timeless library for anybody who would like to be inspired by the story of a lot of very accomplished women in tech at all ages and stages. And for those who do want to listen to one of the 101 Diva Tech Talk podcasts, they can be found at www.diva, D-I-V-A Tech, T-E-C-H, talk, T-A-L-K.com. So we'll just leave that for the moment. And next month, it's possible that we'll be talking again. We have some plans that we're still sort of hammering out, and both kind of busy right now. So we went on a little bit of hiatus for 3 or 4 months now. But so let's get to my favorite philanthropy, though, MCWT, which stands for the Michigan Council of Women in Technology Foundation, a 20-year-old nonprofit here in the state of Michigan.
20 years old. Is that even possible?
Oh my God. It is. Wow. I'm generation 1.5, and I started my volunteer work 18 and a half years ago. So literally, we are all about making Michigan the #1 state for women and girls in tech. The heck with California and North Carolina and Massachusetts.
California's burning anyway, so it doesn't matter, right?
But seriously, that has always been the overriding mission, and we continue to pursue it in our very strong and action-oriented way. 20% of MCWT membership now are males. They are male, what we would call allies, right? And of course, we have about 120 partners. And actually today is our Southeast Michigan golf outing, which is the best golf outing ever in Michigan every summer. And we probably will have about 12 more sponsors at the end of that, because again, we were sold out very fast, both through sponsorships and people golfing. So we're going to have some new sponsors who came in just to sponsor that event. And of course, through the day and this evening, we'll be fully exposed to everything we've been doing at MCWT. And they've all become sponsors for the right reasons, right? Yes, it's a fun time out with their executives and meeting new customers and all that kind of thing. But really, every single cent they spend there, whether it's on a smoothie or a golf ball, or obviously the golfing opportunity itself, or the silent auction or whatever, goes toward our goals, which are to sponsor a whole bunch of programs for women and girls in tech. So we have a really exciting one. It's only the second time. We started this at the beginning of this year, and now we're going to have, for women in mid-career, our leadership clinic. This is one of the many programs we sponsor. And as you know, we do a lot for girls, fifth through 12th grade. And then we've given $1.5 million worth of scholarships away to women who are pursuing tech at colleges and universities, either on the undergraduate or graduate level. But we hadn't done that much until the last few years. We'd expected our mid-career level members to just keep giving, which they do, because they love this, right? They all work for companies who need to hire more women if they want to be innovative. And obviously we're in a workforce revolution right now, some of it really being accelerated by COVID. So we're getting even more sponsors who want more women to be sending their resumes in or learning or evolving through them. But it's only in the last 4 or 5 years we've concentrated on, hey, we have a whole bunch of women now who you consider in mid-career, 30s, 40s, 50s, but have not yet made it to the C level. So we are doing our second leadership clinic. Applications are supposed to end today, Monday, July 26th, but I suspect that if you went to the website between now and the end of this week, by July 31st, you could still get an application in, because I think there's still a few spots left. And this is a 1 day, and the last time we did it online because of COVID on the earlier part of this year, but this will be an in-person event being held at I think it's Borg Warner. And we have 3 amazing facilitators, faculty members, and leaders. First, Melanie Kalmer, who is the Corporate Vice President and CIO, Chief Information Officer, and Chief Digital Officer of Dow, a not small company here in the state. And then Sue Campy, who has been a longtime MCWT member, and way back when, 20 years ago, was one of the first people we got to help us launch some initiatives. She's come back to help with this in particular. And Sue is the SVP and Chief Information Officer, and also the Chief Procurement Officer for Cooper Standard, another large Michigan company. And then finally, Ryan Talbot, who's over the last decade, I've watched him and in his volunteerism give a lot back to MCWT. And Ryan is the Vice President and Chief Information Officer of Borg Warner. So those will be our 3 faculty members. If you go to mcwt.org and hit mid-career level programs, you can see the application there. It's a simple application to fill out. And this particular leadership clinic is aimed at women who are just sort of, not really in the first couple of years of their career, although in our last one, we did get a few people in there just right out of school, a couple of years out of school, but women who are, let's say, in their late 20s, all the way through their 50s, who are in what you would call the mid-level of a corporation and want to hop into sitting at the C-level table. Now, that's the primary audience, but I'm also going to tell you that at the very first inaugural one of these, which we did 7 or 8 months ago, I also have 3 friends, all of whom were moving out of big corporations to do startups, right? Because VC money is starting to abound again. Well, it has been, really. Michigan, as Emily Heinz from Entry Point will tell us, there's been a lot of funding here in Michigan. And they said that it was equally, if not more, useful for them. And of course, the other thing is, besides the curriculum and the pre-session exercises you go through, a lot of them are self-analytic, et cetera. And then the day, you also get post-event mentoring from all 3 of these key leaders. They'll be assigned. We're only taking a limited number of people. And then you get to network with the other 45 to 50 people who are going to be part of this. So this is being sponsored, by the way, by Intel. They've taken a time out from getting chips to us all to say, okay, this is another way we're giving back in the philanthropic space. And a tremendous company called Ahead. So they're the sponsors. So I would suggest that anybody who's interested, take a look at our website, www.mcwt.org, and register. Then the other thing is, we still have just a few spots left for our virtual learning series for 5th through 12th graders. And as you know, because I talked about it extensively in the last session that we had, these are high school girls and middle school girls, and they will be assigned by class and by grade level to learn HTML design, Scratch game design, and Ozobot Evo programming. So if, again, you go to www.mcwt.org and touch our 5th through 12th grade programs, you can see the application for that. And and there's 16 of those, right? 16 different, weeks we're doing. And you can come in the morning or the afternoon, and it's definitely worth if you have a girl that you want to get some education this summer, it's definitely worth people taking a look at. And our sponsors for that are Dow Chemical and Blue Cross Blue Shield. And then also, you guys know, we do Connect Nets, which again is aimed at our membership or prospective membership, where we try and pull people together for things they've asked us for. So our upcoming Connect Net is going to be Wednesday. Hold on one second while I put on my glasses. Wednesday, August 4th, running from noon to 1. So lunchtime on a Wednesday. It's being sponsored by Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. And the topic is leveraging resource groups for business and personal success. And then I saved the date for you guys, because I know you didn't make it to today's golf outing. We're also sponsoring a West Michigan golf outing. This will be, I think it's our 4th or maybe our 3rd. I'm sorry, nope, it's our 2nd annual. We did a test 3 years ago, but then we did our formal one last year. And then this is our 2nd annual West Michigan Golf Classic. This is going to be taking place on September 20th at the Stonewater Country Club in Caledonia, Michigan. And Mike, you told me you're pretty familiar with that. It's outside of Grand Rapids.
Yep.
And we do have our sponsorships for the first one, the Southeast Michigan one. They seem to get sold out in like the first 3 days after we open it up. We do have sponsorships available for this. And again, we'll have all of the movers and shakers in IT in the western part of our state will probably be there in one way, shape, or form. If not golfing, they'll be manning a table, they'll be at dinner. So I definitely suggest that companies who want to penetrate that market think about becoming a sponsor. And you can go to www.mcwt.org and go to our events page. Also, you can get in touch with Chris Rzuski, and for anybody who'd like to, I can get you her email address. And our individual golfer tickets go on sale on August 16th. And then finally, our big event of the year, because again, we gave away $1.5 million in sponsorship in scholarships to college girls and post-college, right? MBA students or Masters of Science and IT students or some kind of technical fields over the last 18 years. So we need to keep the coffers filled, right? So these golf outings help us do that. And they help us field new programs like our leadership clinic. And there is a charge, by the way, for the leadership clinic, but having listened to the faculty members that I told you about, I'm sure you would agree that it's worth it for people to do it. Many people who joined the first time, their companies sponsored them. I would think that might be happening again. But we also have what I call the IT prom every year. We change the name every once in a while. So this year we're calling it the Champagne Ball. So you can be sure we'll have a lot of bubbly going at the event. It's going to take place on Saturday, November 13th, so a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, at MGM Grand in Detroit. Our host sponsor is Stryker, a West Michigan company who's a relatively recent sponsor of our things in the last 4 or 5 years. So we're excited to have them. And for more information, if you'd like to be a sponsor at any level, like you want to sponsor a table, you want to sponsor a giveaway, you want to just come, you should email events, events, at mcwt.org. And we'll be getting gala sponsorship packages out to everyone after August 11th, both on the website and through that email.